I'm Jim Pendleton. I graduated out of Spencer High School in 1968. I drew up a blueprint in 1966, went to the state fair, 14-page color blueprint pencil for a guy named George Morehouse in the 9th grade as a freshman at Klondike Golden Nuggets in Lafayette, Indiana. I went there for 11 years. My dad drugged me out of that school and moved down here in the country where we're at now, and it turned out pretty good. If my dad hadn't moved when he did, I probably wouldn't have the barn house. Up in Lafayette, it was flat ground, and I wanted my house to be in a wooded area. And when we come to Owen County, the Roman Hills of Owen County, it's pretty down here. People talk about being pretty in Maine and California and Alaska, but we get people come here, man, and say it's pretty down here. I bought my property in 1970, and it took me a couple of years to work in the Union Carpenters in Pueblo, Colorado. And I came back in 1972. My girlfriend had been bothering me about coming back to Indiana, and when I came home, I started building my house, and I started in the middle of it, and it wasn't no time that they interviewed me to put me on the seniors from the high school of 75 come out and put me in the Owen County paper. And then from then on, as I started building to the south of the barn house, it started being more interviewed. And I've been in the paper 21 times. I'm in 5 magazines, 2 library books, and I've been on television 3 times. And got 2 videos on tape. It took me 10 years to build the house. I tore down 11 houses and 7 barns. And in a period of 10 years, it was more work than tearing down the barns and the house than it was building the house. It seemed like the framing the house and building the house, it went pretty fast. And over a period of years, we've had a lot of tourists come from all over the world. My mom and dad had 12 kids in a 2-room house. I'm the oldest of 12. And I said if I ever got married, when I grow up and get bigger, I want to build me a big house in case I have a lot of kids. Because this ought to be the way my dad's house should have been. My dad should have had a big house for 12 kids. It took me over a year to find one barn to tear down. It cost me $1,000. I bought up with some dyers over towards Arney, Indiana. My dad found these people that had this old barn, and it cost me $1,000. And I started the center part of the house. And once I got the first barn tore down and it got me in the paper, I had all the barns and houses I ever needed. Even this summer I tore down 3 houses. In a total of 15 years I've torn down 27 buildings and hauled them home and put them on my property. I'm not a workaholic. I just spend time building. I do a lot of jobs for people too on the side, but I like doing a lot of stuff here at the place. Building this big house, it's 7,240 feet of floor space, 15 stairways, over 100 foot of ladders you got to climb through different rooms. It went pretty fast. There's like being inside the barn house at night or anything, I've always felt protected. People worry about accidents and people getting hurt. Well, we've had 14,335 people go through my house in 7 years. And it's a constantly having people coming from all over, taking their time off to come out here to see it. They like it so great.
I like living here because I get to meet a lot of new people from different countries and states come here all over the world, and I take them through the barn house and explain about it, about the place, and take them through the barn house. And people from Africa, India, Finland, England, Germany. I got a pen pal in England. She comes here about every year and comes to see me. I met her because she came here and went to the barn house and started being friends. And now we're right back at each other. I got another friend, good friend of mine, lives in Bloomington now. His name is Sharma, and he's from India.
What about the young girl you write in Bloomington a lot, Shashua or something?
There's another girl named Majabeen.
Yeah.
She's about 15. She's from Malaysia, and she's a friend of mine too. I got like 3 or 4 different friends from different countries.
Well, my friend brought me out here, and she says, Katie, you have to see this place, It's just, well, when I first saw it, it kind of to me looked like a giant chicken coop, And I got inside, and there's all kinds of little crevices and stairways and different rooms and things. And when you get up to the very top, it really looks like a high place. And it took him a long time to build it, too, just a little bit at a time, wasn't it?
A little bit every day.
I met him about 10 years ago and been out here ever since.
Even Katie here, she can go through the barn house today and she goes, well, I don't remember this room. You must have added this on, and I didn't. They just overlook it because there's so many rooms. There's a lot of rooms I ain't even got done yet, but I'd like to have them all finished one of these days.
There's 7 different ways in the front to get inside the barn house, and there's 7 different ways in the back to get in. And this one, the main ones, people are coming to go inside, like this door opens. This is the main entrance to get in.
Me and my dad like to collect old stuff, and me and my dad like to go to farm sales and stuff. And he like to see, you didn't have all this stuff in here. It'd be bare and won't look too neat. We had 2 weddings here. We got pictures over here of weddings we had here. The people like, the minister was up here, and the people walk up on this first step here, and they, both sides are full of rice now on top of them.
So how many weddings have you had here?
Twice.
2 weddings.
Uh-huh.
Just people from around the neighborhood, or?
Yeah, some friends they just moved from Texas about 2 years ago, and they moved here and they got married down here, and they got divorced a month later.
Wow.
And the other people, there's some friends of ours in Terre Haute, and they got married here about 3 or 4 years ago, and they got divorced not very long after that either.
Do you think that has anything to do with getting married here?
No.
They just didn't get along anyways. I don't know why they got married.
When I was little, the steps are a little bit steep. I was coming up here, and mostly we play up here. The TV is right down here, and I don't want to play down the basement, it'd be too cold. And I came up here, and I slipped and fell, and I rolled all the way down to the bottom. I didn't hurt myself, it scared me.
A lot of people like to have their own privacy when they're in confession rooms, so this way nobody knows they're in here or not. Early mornings and late in the evenings, I think it's usually pretty busy. I got a robe, a brown robe, and it's like a monk suit, and I wear it when I sit in here behind the Bibles on the chair, and that way the people don't really know who the priest is, and anyone can be the priest, and anyone can talk to the priest, because that way you can tell your feelings, you know. I always like to talk to 2 women sitting on the same bench. This seat up here is like the overhang, and it's in behind the black bulletproof glass. And I always call it the president's room. But my daughter's up there, she likes to call it the lover's loft. You know how teenagers are. And that girl's up there taking care of business, but I can sit up there on the president's seat. People walk in, knock on the door when we used to live up here. Hello, hi. They'd look around, everyone would see where I was at. And they said, man, you could have had us when we come up to land me. And I said, yeah, because I was sitting in the president's room. I have about 25 shirts I wear, and they all got different things on them. I look different than other people, so when I go somewhere, they don't know who I am, so I wear my shirts with letters on them. And with my Noah's Ark house, if I wanted to put a rubber boot on the roof and design with the bow and the front and back, the angles of the pointed like a boat, which is called a bow, similar to that word. If you would turn it over, it would float. And I built my house with 2 by 4 mills side by side, and I got glass floor. You walk on pictures, and if you turn upside down, that would be the ceiling, and the floor would be the floor. It's my second house that I built 2 years ago. In January, we moved into it. Easier to heat, easier to keep clean. We have very few people go through it. One woman wanted to know if I was tearing it down, or what is that shed you're building? But we actually live in it. It's a house for me. This big old tower right here come from Briar Tower, and I fell in love with it. I gotta have a tower for my room to help expose my tunnel, my tabletop when we play euchre, when we have company. I can sit here and look at all these different rooms. I can talk to 14 people in 14 different rooms, sitting right here. This tower weighs a little bit over 400 pounds. I got it from Briar Tower and Spencer. They give it to me. I put a pipe through it, wrapped a log chain around it, and winched it up the side of the house. And it come loose and fell down on the floor and landed right there. And two or three of some other guys was here to help me. 2 or 3 guys, we couldn't move this tower, so we just leave it right there. And I'll build my tunnels to it. And this is command post room. And there's a trap door here by Mary Ann where we can open up, go down through the trap, and go into another area of the house. You got to go down about 10 feet, and it comes out into the hotel rooms. The room to the side of us over here is what we call the hotel room. We got several beds in them. When we have people stay all night, we have an extra side room over here called the Quickie Room. And the man and woman can go in there and close the door, be in there for a few minutes and do what they have to do, and not be embarrassed, and then go back to bed in their own hotel room, and maybe say next. Then there's a room up above here called the Pirate's Tunnel Room. It's like a washroom where you can keep an eye on the house and people and communicate. And this room down here a little bit lower right there is the dressing room that takes you out on the sun deck. We refer no clothes. I think my house could fly like a ship, just like the Star Trek could if somebody wanted to design it for that way, you know. I believe in UFO. I've seen them.
Yeah, where at?
Well, up on top of the hill here several times.
What happened?
It's been about 10 years ago now. But it was neat. Very neat. I could sit down and draw out the whole structure of the thing.
What did it look like?
Well, it was round, but just like a water tower itself. It had legs on it. An elevation thing come down. It had all kinds of colors of lights. Lots of colors of lights. Couldn't see no body structure, you know. I don't know where it went to. But what I was told, that there was several people went up there and said it was imprints in the grass where it sat, where it was posted, where it landed. The debris of how it went off with radiation signs. But then again, I believe in ghosts too. And we're sitting on a swing. It holds 6 people. It's hanging on up 50 feet in the air. Somebody's got to touch the wall so I can let go. Okay, you touch the wall. And now we're just going to coast out. I wouldn't change the barn house blueprint. The house is built by the blueprint, so I wouldn't change it. I am supposed to have another room be extended to it someday, a big game room. I would like to have a lot of people have their reunions out here and weddings. We've had 2 weddings, but I'd like to have people have their reunions and stuff out here like a park, you know, come out and stay the whole day and see the scenery and go through all the rooms. A lot of them go through the house 2 or 3 times before they leave. So, well, we might have missed something. We'll backtrack. But money, I'm not a money person. I don't know. I wouldn't leave the state. I wouldn't travel. I wouldn't go nowhere. I don't know about money.
I think you'd just build some more things, probably.
I might hire some help to finish up my houses I want to get done. I would have my asphalt driveway probably completely on the property. I would have somebody come every Friday night, mow my yard, pay them $100 or $200. I would probably have somebody, I would pay someone probably if I had that kind of money to take people through the house, and they're getting paid for doing that, like a tourist. Inside my house, my motor joints are red, white, and blue, and my ceiling is red, white, and blue, and I'm an American patriot person. I love it. Everybody should fly an American flag.
How long ago did you start building your house?
I started on my house 2 years ago, and it took me 14 months to build it, and we lived in it and built in it about the same time. 2 years in January I started on it. I tore down a big house in Spencer, and I tore down a big barn, and it's a log cabin inside, and I've got fieldstone inside laid on it, glass picture floors, and it's just a project I ain't got done yet.
And what was the reason again for that glass exit?
Well, I'm building a glass tunnel here all the way to the barn house. So when people come and I come home, I can come out of the car, get right in the house, in the glass tunnel, come right into the house. It builds up heat, keeps the snow off the walkway, an all-purpose thing. And I'm the kind of person I don't like to get my hair wet no more than I have to.
Okay.
Was down the grocery store, and this guy tapped me on the back, and he says, well, are you in this magazine? And the guy goes, I said, well, I don't think I'm in that magazine. And she said, yes, you are. You can have this copy. Got a copy of the barn house from the back. And me there standing, I was working on my house, and got an article and a story about it. Y'all come back. Tell somebody else. I hope you appreciated it. I've torn down 27 buildings to build all these different houses out here. And I believe the spirits, all kinds, stay in the program of the building, the material. I've got lumber in this house since 1855 year that come out, engraved in the wood down below in the bedroom. Some of the barn beams are all in the 1905, 1910. Hand-hewed, old. A lot of people been here to build all this lumber. A lot of people cut the trees, hauled the trees. It hadn't been for all the people. We, the people of America, we couldn't do a lot of things. So people help other people. And people come out here mad, arguing, fighting, carrying on, going down the highway. They see this weird looking house from the highway or whatever. They stop, they go through it and say, man, you just made our day. We're getting along.